This video is about the second step, defining the context of use. The aim is to increase the chance that actors involved actually use the product you design in the future. In the second step, you refine the step 1 research on the problem by defining the context in which your product is embedded. To understand the context, you undertake 3 main exercises, 2 of which you learn the basics in the first year of this master program. You will analyze the factors influencing the problem and identify the actors that your client relies on to address the problem so that you can define their user stories. Based on the case owner action or decision to support, you also identify the problem-related factors and external factors, as well as the objectives to improve, so that you can guide the choices for the next steps in this product design. For the systems analysis exercise, we bring back the problem statement, for example, of the students group working on the energy poverty. We will use this example throughout the video to illustrate the exercises to do. First, in this problem statement, make the case owner action as specific as needed. Similarly, make more specific the undesired effects by, for example, refining them according to the actors that you consider more relevant or according to what you can actually measure for the objectives to improve. This way, we, for example, refined the temporal scope of this problem statement by considering energy poverty improvement by 2030. For the systems analysis exercise, define the objective criteria to improve from the problem statement. For example, to reduce the energy poverty goal, we chose the percentage of household income spent on energy costs, as this is an indicator already available from reports. For the undesired effects, we chose criteria that are measurable, for example, every year or within the time period you define. In this case, the percentage of the municipal budget spent and the percentage of households who achieve the energy efficiency targets. Indicate which of these objectives criteria are to increase, for example, depicting them with a green arrow, or to decrease with a red arrow. Define the external and internal factors to your case owner influence. While you may want to include every possible factor, limit yourself to the ones that your client can actually influence or you have available data for. Also group several factors into an overarching ones, especially for the internal ones, according to the relevance to your product design. Use this exercise as a basis to discuss your problem with your case owner, so that you take aside the notes for improvement while keeping the diagram as simple as possible. Discuss the causal relationships between the key factors that change the objective criteria somehow. For example, increasing sanctions to gas and population growth will increase the energy demand. The economic crisis will increase the energy poverty indicators. The increasing energy demand will also increase the energy poverty, which will also increase the percentage of the household income spent in energy costs. Without your client actions, there are no improvements to the objective criteria. Subsidies will directly reduce energy poverty indicators or will increase energy efficiency installations to reduce the energy demand. For the actor analysis exercise, list all organizational actors that can influence the economic, social, and environmental factors in your system diagram. For example, in the case about energy poverty, the students group distinguish between national and municipal government, the energy network, the real estate actors, homeowners and tenants, the public health department, and the research institutes such as the TNO. Next, you categorize the actors according to the power and interest. For the power, we look at the actors' resources available, such as regulation, financial means, information of expertise. For the interest, we consider the guiding values or desired objectives criteria. For example, the students group working on the energy poverty define the Dutch national and provincial government as context setters due to their role in regulating energy poverty indicators. The municipality of The Hague is a key player due to the information available to calculate energy poverty indicators per neighborhood. The real estate actors are the ones interested in improving energy efficiency. The homeowners and tenants want to lower energy costs and improve their poverty indicators. The energy network and actors, due to the information and ability to produce and supply the energy demand, are also included in the process. The public health government institute are in between subjects and context setters, as they have a role in monitoring poverty indicators and supporting national plans. Research institutes have an expertise but not formal influence. Private homeowners and tenants have the largest interest but not formal influence as well. Next, you categorize the actors according to the key formal regulatory relations from the government actors, which may group several organizations at national and provincial level. Then, you also look at the information and the relations between these actors, for example, in relation to information provision from research institutes to the municipality as case owner, and the cooperation to provide services with the energy network actors and provincial government, among other relationships. The thickness of the relational arrow indicates how formal is the relationship. Finally, you combine all insights into the user requirements of the key players into 3 to maximum 4 personas by grouping actors whose needs align closely. For each persona, determine the values, belief of principles that motivate change, expected opportunities to change, and negative attitudes that limit change. We continue with the example of the students group to illustrate this step. By grouping the actors into 4 personas, government actors, real estate market, energy networks, and homeowners and tenants, we identify their values. For example, for the government persona, values are about social justice and sustainability, hopes are about public-private collaboration, and fears about data privacy and budget restrictions. For energy network actors, values are about efficient energy services, hopes are to better adapt the economic and climate crisis, and fears are about data privacy for competitive demands. For real estate actors, values are about maintaining and enhance the property value. There are hopes to meet climate targets and fears of data profiling and subsidies discontinuities. For the homeowners and tenants, values are about improved living conditions, hopes are to access the necessary support and related information, and fears are about unclear effectiveness. For the systems analysis exercise, the example we illustrated so far focus on only one action to support. However, each student in the group repeated the exercise with a different mean or policy intervention. For example, assist the subsidy application process or promote green energy efficient installations. The students discussed each on a separate diagram so that they could agree with the problem exploration without overwhelming their case owner with the factors of all possible means into one diagram. The process implied to adjust the problem statement, change some of the external factors and objective indicators that we will not illustrate on this video. Examples of means or policy interventions to consider in your problem exploration, step 1 and 2 are about equipping, providing tools and opportunities for the desired behavior, assuming uptake, ban to restrict or eliminate options to enforce compliance, incentivize, which is actually the means that we are using, like using rewards or penalties to check behavior, informing to explain why and how to act in line with policy, boost to enhance decision-making with skills and supported environments, and nudge to guide choices via intuitive cues without restricting options or altering incentives. Yet, we summarize this video with the guiding principles to define the context of use. First, think broadly, explore alternative case owner actions. Look for evidence to support your context choices. Focus on understanding the needs and motives, and keep a learning and proactive approach every time you propose something to the client and you receive feedback about it.